Hi everybody, this is Carrie with End Time Victory. I wanted to start my first video kind of explaining how this YouTube channel came about. I believe it was something that I was told to do, to start sharing my dreams and visions with all of you. I've been having dreams for about a year and a half, but most of them, with the exception of one, were all very personal. They were healing, they were loving dreams, very nurturing. But I had the one prophetic dream about a year ago now, and here lately I've had more, but they've all been prophetic dreams. So I had about a week period where I had 4 prophetic dreams that all linked together. It was like one dream given in 4 different segments. And so at the same time, I started listening to a couple of ladies on YouTube that told about their dreams that they had as well, and how they believed that they were told by our Father in heaven to start their channels and offer their dreams up to share with his body, the bride. So I had never done that before. I've always listened to a lot of preachers, a lot of end time ministries, but I never had ever listened to anybody that had dreams before. So that week period where I had those 4, it was all about the rapture, it was about end times, and I'll do a video about that next time. But I was sitting there thinking, wondering why, is that really what he was saying? Is it really going to be as fast as that? And is the end time really going to be like that? Is it really closing in on us like that dream, like those dreams said? And I really was just thinking, I was like, yeah, that's what it says. That's the word that he gave me. That was all about the dreams. And so I thought, why is he telling me this? Like, why isn't he telling everybody? Because I know other believers that they aren't having these dreams. So why would he just tell me? Like, everybody needs to know how close it is, how close the end times are. So immediately when I thought that, I got a word very loud in my head. I remember I was driving to work and I was praying and talking to myself about those dreams, and I got a word of knowledge immediately, and it was the scripture, Amos 3:7, where it says, surely, because remember I had said, why isn't he telling everybody? Everybody needs to know. And it says, surely the Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, his people, his servants, the prophets. And I knew instantly he was telling everybody. He was telling people through his prophets, through people that he picked to give dreams, give visions, give instruction, to tell the whole body. So he was telling everybody. And so that kind of started the process of me wondering if I'm supposed to do this. So, that day I went to work and life happens, and so then I just kind of started, hesitating and wondering if that's really where I was supposed to be going. But he kind of planted a seed that day in me. And like I said, I started listening to a couple of other ladies, and I was sitting there talking myself out of it, saying, yeah, but I only have just a few dreams, I don't have very many dreams to offer. I don't know if that's really what he's saying, because most of my dreams are all personal, and I want you to remember that phrase, personal, or that term, because I said that over and over and over, and that's all I thought was all the dreams that he gives me, or most of them, are personal, and they're about my personal life and my personal history and my personal experiences. And then one day when I was listening to one of those ladies, it was actually Rhonda Empson. She mentioned that when she started out, and when I heard this, I thought he was talking to me through her. It hit me pretty hard. I could hear it. She said, when I first started having dreams, that they were all very personal. They were all flowery and loving. And then she said, but, I understand now that that's just he has to heal you first before he can use you. So to me, that was another confirmation. That was like, yeah, that's why you have a lot of personal, but that doesn't mean that's all you're going to get. And this doesn't mean that just those few prophetic dreams is all you're going to get, but because kind of what I understood was my process is to start out with these types of dreams and then move into more prophetic dreams. So that stirred me a little bit more, and it kind of gave me a little bit more confirmation. So that night, I prayed, and I was like, you know, if that's really what you want for me, if that's really what you're telling me, then give me a prophetic dream tonight, and I'll know. So I went to sleep, and that night I got a prophetic dream. I was in space. It was in outer space, and I was looking at the earth, and I was a little far away from it, not too far. I could see it, but it looked it looked, you know, kind of small from where I was, so I was pretty far away from it. And something happened to it as I was watching it. It looked like something ripped a chunk out of the top of it, or gouged a huge, like, crater in the earth. Like, I didn't see anything strike it, and I didn't see an explosion. I just saw the earth was fine, and it looked normal, and then all of a sudden there was this big gouge in it. Big, huge gouge across the top of the earth. And then it shot off away from me very, very fast. As fast as, like, it reminded me of a balloon when you let the air out of it, and it just shoots. But it didn't zigzag like a balloon. It just went straight, shot away from me. So I got that prophetic dream. And that kind of, you know, was another confirmation. But still, I was really, really worried that perhaps this was something inside of me. It was some sort of hidden pride or something. And I didn't want this to be about me. So I was like, I prayed. I said, Father, if this is what you want, because that's what I feel like you're telling me to do. If you really, really want me to do this, and it's not about me or something that I'm thinking, then you're just going to have to tell me straight up. Straight up tell me, and I will do it out of obedience. So that night I had 3 dreams, and there were 3 different scenes. So the first scene was what I think is the veil between the natural and the supernatural, maybe the veil between the dimensions of human and spiritual. I was looking at the sky, and I saw what at first I kind of thought it was clouds, but it was not. It was not like any clouds I'd ever seen in my entire life. But it was a big. It covered the entire sky, and it was a white, silvery, absolutely gorgeous substance, film that I was looking at. And at that dream I was trying to figure it out, and that's when I started feeling like it was the veil between the natural and the spiritual natural, the veil that cover our eyes that we can't see the supernatural. It was translucent, but also silvery white. So what I kept picturing, and what I kept saying over and over in my mind was how absolutely beautiful this was. The next scene was a computer screen. It was being typed, there were words being typed on the computer screen, and I couldn't see them. They were all out of focus, but there was a whole bunch of them just being typed all over that screen. And so I kind of leaned in and tried to focus in on them, and I saw 2 words, and the words were safe and careful. And what I got from that, the meaning that I got from that, immediately I knew that we are safe, the body, not just me, but the whole body, we're safe, because he handles us. He is so very full of care with us. And the next scene was, I heard Father tell me, just because I said it to you, don't take it personal. Or he said, just because I said it to you, it's not personal. Which I immediately took personal. I mean, immediately. I just like, what? What does that mean? Like, why would he say that? I was so confused. I was like, why would he tell me not to take it personal? I never take anything personal that he says to me. I didn't understand it. I was so completely confused and upset by that statement. So I was just walking along. He was gone, and I had gone off into down the street, and this was still in the dream, and this guy comes up to me that I didn't know, but he knows me, which was really weird. I didn't understand that, but he came up to me talking to me. Hey, Carrie, hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much. He said, ask Tori. Last night I said it. I said it was over. She'll tell you. And so I was like, when I heard that, I thought he was talking about something prophetic that he had heard and that he had, said and proclaimed the night before. And I thought he was bringing this Tori, which I didn't know who Tori was either. And I thought he was bringing her as a witness to kind of confirm and prove that he knew something that was going to happen. He knew it. And so that's what I thought, because I didn't know who this guy was, and yet he was acting like we were best friends. So I was really still distracted over what Father had told me, and so I was trying to figure that out, and I was trying to watching this guy, and he said, yeah, he said, last night I told Tori it was over, I was done, I was about to leave. Then I heard what you said, and I knew that was to me from our Father. That was for us. It saved us. He was so happy and so grateful, and he kept telling me over and over and reassuring me that Jesus, Yeshua, had spoke to him and them and their situation. And at that time I was still absolutely confused because I don't remember telling him anything. And during that time of wondering, I automatically just knew that Tori was his wife, okay? Well, I was wondering, I was trying to figure out how the connection was. What was connected between, because the only thing that I can remember now that I had told him, or then, that I told him was that what Father had told us, had told me about, don't take it personal. Just because I said it to you, don't take it personal. And how did that connect to his situation? Because that's the only thing I had said to him, was that I was trying to figure that out. And then all of a sudden, it hit me. It struck me, and I knew immediately, like somebody had just told me, don't take it personal, not personal. When I say something to you, it may be for someone else you don't even know and won't have any idea how it changes their life and saves them. Start the YouTube ministry. When I woke up, I knew immediately that was it. Like, that's what I was supposed to do. He absolutely confirmed and confirmed and confirmed for me to do this. And I have never looked up a name before, but I looked up Tori because it's the only name I've ever gotten from a dream. And when I looked up Tori, it was Tori, short for Victoria, victory. And I knew immediately it was not my victory, it was our victory, it was his victory. It was the armies of heaven and his kingdom. We are victorious through these types of works and our actions and our duties. I love you all. I'm praying for you all. Have a blessed day.